Yo, what's up my fellow no-life tamers? Welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be diving into a deck profile for Armor Rush. And yes, I know I'm late to the party, but I didn't want to rush into making this video without some thorough testing myself.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Alright, I know, crappy joke, but anyways, as always, this deck profile is not at all the best build. It's just what worked for me, and you can always use this as a baseline and tweak the build to your liking. I will be going over all the cards I use for my deck, along with going over cards that I have tried or could try and their pros and cons. Before we get right into the video though, I want to give a shout out to my boy Zach of All Trades. His Armor Rush video inspired me to make my own, and if you guys haven't already checked it out, make sure you guys do. I'll leave a link in the description, so go over there and show his video and channel some love. I really like the thumbnail he made for that video too, a little spoiler. But so without further ado, let's get right into this deck profile. It's time to Armor Digi-Evolution.
Golden armor energized! Digimon golden armor
Alright, starting off with the Digi-Eggs, we play 4 of the BT21 Demi Vmon. This is a great egg. Its inherit gives you 1 plus 1k DP, while this Digimon has 2 or more colors, which gives you that extra boost you need to get over your opponent's Digimon. Keep in mind your BT16 and the new BT21 Vmon gets this boost too, because they have 2 colors. Moving on to our level 3s, we play 2 of EX01 Vmon. Because you're able to unsuspend so many times during your main, with this new Armor Rush build, that extra memory you get from the inherit whenever you unsuspend helps with that extra memory you need to again evo into another Magmon and unsuspend. Then we play 2 of the BT16 Vmon. Reason why I'm only playing 2 is because to get value out of this, it would need to already be on the field while you have another Vmon in play to get use out of the memory gain. Being that this is a rush deck, I felt that having to hard play this Vmon, it slows you down so much compared to other cards you could have played instead. But if you're already ahead in the game, this just further locks you in for the win. Next, we play 4 of the promo Vmon. The reduced evil cost helps tremendously here, making your Magna evil cost 2 or your Lydramon and Flamedramon evil cost of 1 while you have a Tamer in play. Keep in mind it's a once per turn effect, so it gets outshined in that aspect by the new BT21 Vmon. And its inherit allows you to draw 1 card if your Digimon has 2 or more colors, which will always activate since your level 4 and higher are all 2 or more colors. This helps with speeding up your play a bit, drawing into more pieces that you need to maintain momentum. Lastly, our bread and butter of the level 3s, the new BT21 Vmon. Of course, we have to play 4 of these. It's your turn effects similar to the promo V. It lets you evo into a Digimon card with armor form or hero end trait from your hand with reduced evil cost by 1. This is where this Vmon outshines the promo Vmon. This effect is not once per turn. I repeat, this effect is not once per turn. And it's also not limited by needing a Tamer in play, so you can use its effect over and over. Its inherit also gives a 2000 DP boost, which I felt majority of the time this deck was lacking in DP before, but this helps fill in that gap that's needed. And that's it for our level 3s. We played 12 level 3s. Starting off with our level 4s, we played 2 of the promo Flamedramon. Its effect is when its attack target changes, your opponent adds the top card of their security stack to the hand. And since this Digimon has Raid, you can easily swap targets to one of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon to activate its effect. Also, to note, if it has the 2k boost from the Vmon along with the 1k boost from the Demi V, you're essentially attacking with a 8000 DP Digimon, which would help with getting over a good number of Digimon. But even if you can't, don't fret. This helps with armor purging if it dies and you go right into a Magnemon to unsuspend and continue swinging. Another level 4 we play, 2 of is the new BT21 Lydramon. A little bit of spoilers here, as mentioned in Zach's Armor Rush video. This new Lydramon is a combination of the old BT8 Lydramon and the option card Lightning Blade. Its effect allows you to suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, which is similar to the old Lydramon, and then it gives itself 2000 DP, and it also has piercing, which is similar to the option card Lightning Blade. Now moving on to our main Digimon of the deck, we have the new BT21 Magnamon. We're only playing 3 of this for now since I only have 3 copies, but once I get the 4th copy, I'll definitely be playing 4 of them. But it's so good that I'm definitely going to be running 4. This is the opposite of our BT8 Magnamon, where instead of it gaining 2000 DP for each armor form trait in your trash, you actually subtract 2000 DP to one of your opponent's Digimon for each armor trait instead. This helps a lot against Digimon with battle protection, and since this new Armor Rush deck, you're able to build your trash so quickly with armor form Digimon that utilizing this effect to its full potential would not be difficult. And since we play the minus DP, you already know we have to play its brother, DP gain. We play the old BT8 Magnamon as mentioned previously. This effect and how quickly you're able to build your trash with armor form trait, it lets itself gain 2000 DP for each armor form trait in the trash, and being a big beat stick beater, it's definitely going to run through a lot of Digimon on both the field and security. And last of our level 4s, we play 4 of the ST17 Magnamon. This is probably one of the best Magnamon in my opinion, because of the source stripping and then bouncing one of your opponent's Digimon without sources. Not only that, but it also has a security effect where it de-digivolves one on one Digimon. This can be either you or your opponent. Yes, you hear me right. This opens up so many plays because if you were to de-digivolve yourself, its following effect allows you to digivolve on one of your Digimon without paying the Digivolution cost. Overall, an extremely strong card. And that's it for our level 4s. We play a whopping 16 of them. For our level 5s, yes, we play level 5, and no, it's not Zudomon Ace or Juan Kunmon. I played the one of Arresterdramon Superior Mode. This card is meant to give you that extra swing you need for game after exhausting all your memory and not able to keep turn. Because of its when digivolving effect, you may attack without suspending. Its alternate effect also gives 1k DP for each of its Digivolution cards, so that's 3000 DP on top of all the extra boosts you get from your inherits. You may be asking, well, Johnny, you only have 2 target to Evo on top of, which are your Flamedramon. I would say read the black text Digivolution requirement. It states Digivolve on top of a level 4 with Hero End trait for the cost of 3, and that's where our BT21 Magnamon comes into play, because it's also a hero trait. Effectively, 5 targets to Evo on top of, and maybe you didn't have game that turn, this card is still a great card because you have Raid and Piercing built into this card for when you attack again the next turn. That's it for our level 5s. We play one of the Arresterdramon Superior Mode. Starting off on our level 6s, even though this card doesn't have much of a spotlight anymore, immunity in this meta is still so strong. We play 3 of BT16 Magnamon X. It gains immunity to effects until the end of your opponent's turn when it digivolves, and when a securities card is removed from either side, and also gains 3k DP. On top of that, it's able to unsuspend, giving you that extra aggression to be able to swing again. Sure, the deck seems to not revolve around this card as much anymore, but how many times have you been stopped in your tracks when seeing this card come out? I know I have many times, but I did mention earlier I was going to run 4 of the BT21 Magnamon. I might drop this to 2 and run the BT21 at 4. And that wraps up our Digimon. That wraps up our level 6s. We played 3 of. For our level 7s, we play one of BT20 Omnimon X. This is just another one of those cards you push for aggression for a game. Not only that, but it's a great card to remove one of your opponent's Digimon. You won't be able to fully utilize its on play when digivolving effect, since you won't have Omnimon or X antibody in its source. But getting rid of one body is still really strong, and as I mentioned about the push for aggression, its end of turn effect allows one of your Digimon to gain rush and then attack without suspending. So if you evo into him and it passes turn, you can still attack and potentially swing for game. If not, it also has raid and piercing to clear another body if needed, all the while piercing for another check. It's also a blocker, so if it's still unsuspended, you can block an attack during your opponent's turn. And that wraps up our Digimon. We play a total of 33 Digimon. Moving along to our Tamers, we play one of BT3 Davis. You guys already know what this card does, but just a quick refresher. It allows you to grab one green and one blue Digimon from the 3 revealed cards from your deck. And it's also a memory setter. So not much else for that. Next, and the last of our Tamers, we play 4 of the new BT21 Davis. This is such a strong card, and the reason for making this an Armor Rush deck, because by suspending this Tamer, you trash the top stack card of one of your Armor Form trait Digimon to draw 1 and gain 1 memory. This helps with going into your Magnamon to unsuspend the Digimon and continue swinging. Its start of main effect also nets you 1 memory if your opponent has a Digimon. This card goes really well with the new option card, which we will talk about here in a little bit. And that's it for our Tamers. We play 5 of. Starting off with our options, we play the one and only one of Awakening of the Golden Knight. And of course, we only play 1 because it's limited. Yellow Vaccine ruining the fun for us pure Magna players. This card lets one of your Digimon with Armor Form in a straight to evo into a Magnamon in name from your hand, ignoring Digivolution requirements and without paying memory. This opens your Flame Dramon and Lydramon to be able to evo into your Magna X, whereas without the card, it would not be able to. This also cuts the Digivolution cost from 5 to 3 for all of your Magnamon, which makes it so memory efficient to have this card. This is definitely a must-play card in any variant of Magna deck list. Next, we play one of Wisteria Memory Boost. By revealing the top 3 cards of your deck, you're able to grab 1 blue or red Digimon card from the revealed. This pretty much covers all of your Digimon targets in the deck, including the Arrestor Dramon. And the delay effect to gain 2 memory is good when you're in a pinch and in need of memory to make plays. Last of our one-ofs, we play 1 blue Scramble. This is mainly here to evo your Magnas into Magna X for effectively 4 cost, or your Magna X into Omni X for 5 cost. Even though it's only 1 memory less than its base cost, every little bit of memory helps. On top of that, the ability to recycle a blue Digimon from your trash to the top of your deck for whichever armor form you're needing at the time. And also you play out 1 of your Vmon from trash. Since this happens on your turn, I usually go for the BT16 Vmon, push my other Vmon up from raising, and evo to gain the memory from BT16 Vmon, making an even cheaper Digivolution. Moving on, we play 2 of Mental Training. Everyone already know this card. It's a good card to dig into your pieces from the deck, and the delay reducing evo cost by 2. Next, we play 2 of Fire Rocket. This adds on to why this deck is called Armor Rush, with its effect to give one of your Digimon with 2 or more colors security attack +1. Since now with the new Davis, you have red source on the field, so if you just have Magna X out with Davis, you're able to use this option card to give your Magna X a security attack +1, and that's 4 checks you can do. Next, we play 2 Armor Texture. This card allows you to trash the top card of one of your Armor Form trait Digimon, and then evo into an Armor Form trait in your hand for the cost, and then being able to unsuspend as well. It works really well with the new Vmon, so with the last iteration of Armor Rush, we didn't really see much play with this card, but with the release of the new support, this card works eloquently in this deck, with it working in tandem with the new option card. Speaking of the new option card, we play 4 of Armor Digivolution. This is basically your BT12 Vmon baked into this card, but you get a delay effect on top of it, allowing your Digimon to evo into an Armor Form without paying the cost when one of your top stacked Armor Form trait Digimon card is trashed. I mentioned earlier that this works in tandem with armor texture because you can use the first effect of armor texture and then choose not to evo, then your delay would trigger from armor Digivolution and you could evo for free. Just keep in mind you would not be able to unsuspend unless you evo into one of the Magnamons that's able to unsuspend. So I'm not going to name all cards that can possibly work in this deck. I'm just going over cards that I have already tested myself and maybe add back into the deck with a little bit more testing. For those of you that questioned why I didn't play BT12 Digimon, well, with my own testing, I felt that there were times when I would rather have played a different card like Armor Digivolution or the new Davis Tamer than to play this Digimon. I just felt it was slowing down the deck too much with having an inherit that doesn't benefit the deck. I'm still leaving this here as possible tech choice because it's still a great searcher and maybe you can find a way to optimally utilize this card. But moving on, BT13 Magnamon. When testing, I felt that this Magnamon just became a floater and it does not work well with how the new Armor Rush runs. Its effect only happens when this Digimon would leave the battle area, so trashing this card by any of the new effects would ultimately make this a dead effect. But I have tested this with the BT16 Dual Tamer Daiken, and it's great together. But again, to reiterate, this is a rush deck, and needing multiple cards just for this to work slows down the deck too much. Speaking of BT16 Dual Tamer Daiken, it's a great card to be able to play out your Vmon for free and gaining a memory when digivolving, but the Vmon you play can't attack since it was played that turn. The only Vmon I would want to play out by this effect is the Searcher Vmon or BT16 Vmon. Again, it felt like this card slowed down the deck even more because to make full use of this, you would need to play the Searcher Vmon and BT13 Magnamon for them to work well together. Thus, you're having to make room for those cards and this no longer becomes a rush deck in my opinion. And it's also a 4-cost tamer. Promo Davis. Again, it's able to play a Vmon, but the pattern you've noticed from my tech choices and why they're on the bench is that those bodies can't attack the turn they were played. I'm heavily focusing on the rush portion of the deck. The pros of this, definitely, playing out body, being able to gain memory. The cons is that body can't attack and ultimately no longer a rush deck. And last of the tech choice, BT8 Dual Tamer Daiken. Now this card I'm honestly think of slotting in as a one of. Its starter main definitely will most likely always net you at least one memory, but the ability to unsuspend your Digimon when it digivolves into a 2 or more color Digimon makes it part of what a rush deck is meant to be. I would probably I mentioned bringing Magna X down to 2 and slotting in the 4th Magnamon. That third Magna X could possibly be the BT21 Magnamon or this one of BT8 Daiken Tamer. And that's it for our deck profile. If you enjoyed the deck profile, you already know, like, subscribe, and click that bell so you don't miss any more Digimon TCG content. We've got more profiles, match breakdowns, and meta talk in the future. And you guys probably noticed the new layout of how I'm doing my deck profile. Just testing something new, so all feedbacks are welcome. And also leave a comment on what cards you'd play in this deck. But until next time, stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.